Turned way down.
That's how it is, man. That's how it is. All right, we're live.
Wow.
What's going on,
Live!
Live in 5. This is
What are we live on? Are we live on Twitter?
all of them.
No,
Yes.
we don't do that.
Everywhere.
Come on, Max. You know I'm not allowed on Twitter.
No, we're so what's going on, everybody? Today we're here to talk about Andor Episode 6, and I guess we can talk about 5 if you guys remember what 5 was about, but I don't.
They were with goats. They had goats.
They had a plan.
Lots of goats.
Red Dead Redemption, if anybody gets that. But yeah, so what did you guys think of this episode? I mean, it was pretty jam-packed. I mean, they'd kind of been setting it up for 2 episodes, so I think they delivered, but I want to hear what you guys think about it.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for heists. Straight up.
Dude, same. Yeah. Especially a bridge. Dude, I was getting 007 vibes. Like when they're like running down the, I was like, that's GoldenEye right there.
Yes.
The giant dam,
I'm pretty sure they used an actual dam. Like they filmed on site.
Yeah. It looks very cool.
I mean, Tony Yuri was saying that he was looking for real-world abandoned environments, and he was just going to enhance them with CGI and set dressing.
I mean, I'm
You did
for
a
it.
good job.
I think it's the best of both worlds.
I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I love heists. I love the whole heist concept. I thought the meteor thing, like the eye opening, I thought that was like a beautiful celestial event that I'd love to see here on Earth. And I thought like staging the heist during that event was very clever, especially since, hey, no one's going to be stupid enough to fly during a meteor shower, right? Cue Rebels and TIE Fighters pilots.
Yes.
They are
Well.
both stupid. The Rebels are slightly more stupid, but that's only because they're poor. That's why only one of them was getting
Not
paid.
anymore.
Because they're dead. That's
Yeah.
why they're not poor anymore. They're dead.
What else did you guys think?
That was the best TIE launch scene I've ever seen. Watching the guys run down the catwalk, hop in, start flipping switches, and then they drop down and off they go.
Have we seen that
Yes.
in any other like live action like Empire?
I
Because I
wanna
know we've
say
seen
one
it in
of-
Rebels.
In the
Rebels.
sequels, they show them dropping down like off the ships, but I mean, besides seeing Finn and Poe trying to take off when they're like latched in by the harness, we've never seen something that cool before.
In the last
I never
episode
heard of
of
the sequels, so I don't know what that is.
in the last episode of Mandalorian season 2, they had a kind of like a drop sequence like that coming out of Moff Gideon's ship, but it wasn't to this extent.
Oh yeah.
There's just something to talk about when you see the TIE pilot getting into the hatch on the TIE fighter, and you have the meteor shower like in the sky jumping in, and it's like that one freeze frame where like one arm's up, one arm's on the hatch getting ready to pull it up, and then you see all that glow in the background. That silhouette is like the
It
money
was pretty
shot.
awesome.
I
It was
really
actually
hope someone does an art piece on that, like something like
Yeah,
that. 'Cause I
right.
need a poster or just like a framework of that. His like
There is a couple different
amazing.
shots of that. I mean, anything with that celestial shot, it's awesome.
Let's
dude.
check Google Senpai to see if someone's already done it.
I'd believe it. I thought what was interesting is this whole heist or this whole kind of like arc. We didn't see like any stormtroopers. Like you see a little bit like on the ground, like when they're like running into the TIE fighters, but there are like no stormtroopers anywhere, which I thought was kind of cool. Like it's like I did because I think we're like so used to seeing them be like the dominant force, but we're seeing like other sorts of like military like what would they even be classified as, like what they were disguised as? Like are they just like grunts? Like what
Yeah, I
kind
mean, I
of
would say like ground
Just
troops.
guards.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know how Scarif had shore troopers, and
Mhm.
these guys were very similar to like the mud troopers.
yeah,
or whatever
fair.
The Minbin.
they're.
Yeah.
Well, not even those, because you remember like in Solo, he wears the same helmet. I know there was a couple different pieces and stuff, but overall the the armor and stuff was almost identical. I think these helmets may have been black compared to like the dark green, but yeah, it was cool to kind of see a different regiment inside of the Empire.
And I'm also super bad with like weapons and ships are like not my forte. Like I always like to see them, but as far as like names go and things like that, So the blasters that they were using, that was like standard like stormtrooper blasters, just with the stock extended, right?
Pretty much.
My buddy Strike would know.
Ah.
He's a nut when it comes to the blasters.
Because
Yes, it was the
I was thinking it looked different.
It had the E11D rear stock on it, but I want to say it's like a E22. It's not a D. It's like an E22M maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, because I got super excited. I was like, "Oh, a new blaster!" And then I was like, "Wait a second."
It is not. It is not an E22. An E22 has a double barrel.
That's right. That's right.
Actually,
yeah, I see this. I don't know any of this stuff, so I like hearing it from you guys. Because you guys,
it has to be modified in some way though, because the clone trooper blasters shot blue tracers.
I think it's just an E11 variant that they invented for the show.
I think so. Yeah.
Also, who's excited now that we officially have the Star Wars AK-47?
I will plant that flag at the top of the hill. They messed up on that.
No, man, did you see that thing ripping it out? That thing was awesome.
And
the fact that they actually pulled the stock out to use it. That's one thing I noticed about the Rebels. They actually shouldered their blasters, where the Empire just holds it like waist level and gives it their best. The Rebels, man, they bring it up and drive it in.
I am so happy because, like, I have like an airsoft AK lying around in my garage. I got it as a gift from my friend when I helped him move. He didn't want it anymore, so he just gave it to me. And I've been thinking to myself for years, I can just turn this into a custom Mando blaster. And people always tell me, dude, you can't do that. It looks too much like a real gun. Well,
like now I can.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was cool. I kind of wanted it to be like it to me, it kind of fired like every other blaster. I was kind of hoping it had like a different like firing effect or something like that, or it was like a I don't know what's the I was going to say tri-burst. That's not what it's called. It's like semi-auto. Is that what the terminology is for the weapons? When it fires 3 shots.
Yeah, a semi and a full
automatic
auto.
burst, single shot.
Yeah. I was hoping for something like that instead of just the standard. But no, I mean it was cool. I liked all the weapons and but another thing I wanted to bring up. Okay, was it just me or did the Aldani people? So like they're like chief guy, right? I seriously thought that was Bryan Cranston the first time I saw him, and I was like, "Why are they going to do Bryan Cranston that dirty?" Maybe. I was like, he looked like he was like an older one, but I was like, "Why are they going to do Bryan Cranston dirty, bro? Like and give him that tiny of a role?" But
are you blind,
bro? Go back and look. I'm telling you, he has some shots that he looks like Bryan Cranston.
No, he does not. He deliberately. I've been watching Bryan Cranston's face since Malcolm in the Middle. That was not. That did not even look vaguely like Bryan Cranston.
Maybe that's just me, but that was my first initial reaction when I saw him. I was like, "Wait a second, is that Bryan Cranston?"
He's a man of many faces. It's
White.
No worries. Yeah,
say my name.
I enjoyed seeing them because it's like a nice from tribal people and everything like that of whatever they were going for, a nice little distraction of get in there, and then because Star Wars notorious for doing that for awesome reasons and stuff like that, and meanwhile showing this and then panning back to the action and the story and stuff. I love that how they did that and fused that together. That was really cool.
Heck yeah, man. Grant, what's going on, dude?
Not much. My computer did not update. It didn't show that you guys had even sent the link. So here I am now.
It is all good. Tell us what you thought of this episode.
Oh man, I absolutely loved it. We finally got the action that we were looking for. Still gave that great spy espionage stuff. Like it wasn't over the top action. It was the good little stealth, the heart racing moments when they're on the ladder sitting there at the dam, waiting as the people run over them, like everything that you've seen in every stealth spy thing, but then we still got the blaster shots and the awesome action. Like, man, it was amazing. Everything that I hoped for.
Heck yeah. I like the subtle nod also when the commandant, he's like putting on his like belt or whatever. And I was like, literally as soon as he's like, this doesn't fit, like Cassian's like voice played. He's like, they're so fat and satisfied. Like he just like couldn't like fit
That was
it
a pretty
over.
good impression.
I know, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I've been working on my Cassian.
It's the facial hair. You're slowly turning into him.
right. If I could just grow stuff on the sides, I think that would be. I can only grow the.
He
the
can't
goatee.
either, so don't worry.
Here's what you do. You get the makeup kit that has the fake hair, like the fake hair texture in it, and then you rub it on your face. I'm pretty sure you can buy it with like the same bruise kit that frickin' Amber Heard uses. You can buy it at one of those places.
I have been doing makeup since I have been 6 years old. Oh man, but what do you guys think happened? Cinta was her name, or Cinna? It was Cinta or Cinta?
Dude.
What happened to her? Because she
She's
had
cold.
some venom,
Yeah.
dude. She was like, "I'm ready to blow
cold-blooded.
all these motherfuckers away."
Dude,
She
and
was
you
like,
know
ready
she
to go.
smoked that family. The way she walked
You
out,
think so?
Dude,
think so?
I feel confident she smoked them.
Dude.
Yeah, that
left,
one.
left no faces.
Yeah, the what was it? The radio. They kept going in like, "Hey, we're gonna do this or not?" and everything
Yeah.
like that. And like she
Yeah.
had like this little look on her face of just intensity and
I'm
stuff
gonna burn
like
them
that.
all.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely.
But they just
say
like,
that.
I was surprised because they like straight up left her there. I was
It's
like,
I think
definitely
that's
not
part of
the-
the plan, though.
Yeah, it's definitely not the last time we're probably gonna be on Eldani, because there was a trailer for Andor where we see Cinta getting off a speeder or something, and the Star
Oh.
Destroyer comes overhead. So I don't think we're
That's
done with
right.
this
That's right.
planet.
Nice.
okay. Yeah, I was I was surprised at how quickly, because I was going to say the Imperial officers are the first ones to go. The guy that's helping them, who's like the commander, and then the stormtrooper. We find out that the other one's a stormtrooper. Like, I was like, oh man, I was like, that was interesting that they're like literally the first ones to just like bite the dust, you know?
Yeah.
What did you guys kind of think of that scene of like the whole thing of just like the communicate? I'm guessing he's a communications guy coming down and being like, what's going on here? Like, what did you guys think?
I love
of, like,
how quick Gorn was like, this is a top secret mission. Get your ass back up. He was fast.
He had that
Yeah.
ready. That was in the holster. And he's like,
Yeah.
get back to your station.
I've been waiting for a week to use this.
Yes, it was very tense because the one dude, did he have a heart attack or did he actually get shot? I kind of
I
missed
think he
that.
had a heart attack.
I think, yeah, I think-
Okay,
Dude, he
look.
was holding his
Checked out.
chest. No way, man. He was like, oh,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
was
decide. Should I tell him?
I was rewatching and I was like, wait a minute.
Indigestion.
Well, wait, guys, I just want to bring up this point. It's funny. I just find it funny that I have to bring it up, and I find it funny that no one thought about this when they were making this episode. The black guys died first.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that escalated quickly. That really got out of hand fast.
They died first. Like first you had the lieutenant. He died, and then you had the other black guy, and then the kid died, and then the southern hick died. It's the same order in like everything. You have the black guys, then you have the young virgin kid, and then you have the asshole hick. It's the same thing every single time.
I'm surprised though. Like, he didn't plan that out very well when he was like the storm. I forget the guy's name that was the stormtrooper. He just like
Sherman.
bolted, and I'm just like, dude, you didn't plan that out like at all. Like, I get that other guy was supposed to like cover him and stuff like that, which I think that guy didn't cover him and like did that on purpose because he wanted to like eliminate everybody.
The blaster he has is like made to be like a fast repeating one too. So
yeah, I
he
thought
only
that was
took,
weird. It was like single fire or something like that.
So-
I think that was on purpose though. I think he did one shot pulled away so he could claim more of the cash at the end.
yeah.
Ooh. Mr. Easter eggs popping up again.
Oh,
By the way, this is something I noticed today when I was watching Game of Thrones videos. Is the actress for Vel the same actress as the faceless girl from Game of Thrones?
I think so.
Yes.
Oh,
I think so.
Yeah.
You said that, and I was like, that like unlocked like a key memory. I was like, oh, Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I
I was-
block that out.
Yeah, I was watching a video I was watching a George R. Martin video earlier today talking about the faceless men, and they were showing clips from the show, and they were showing the girls training together, Arya and that other girl. I'm like, wait, that face looks so familiar, and then it hit me immediately. Oh my god, it's Vel from Andor.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
put that as the thumbnail, and people are gonna be so confused. Like her is like Game of Thrones, and her from Star Wars, and be like, "What the heck are they talking about?"
Like she stuck out immediately because she always frowns.
Yeah,
Always. She just keeps frowning. She never stops frowning.
Well, she looked pretty depressed this whole episode or this whole series.
I was
too,
kind
so.
of confused on that because she was like so ready to go, and then like throughout the whole time she was just like it felt like she was unsure of herself, like she didn't want to really go through it.
When she was at
like,
the dam and they were radioing in when they're in position, they're like, "Are we gonna do this?" She's like, she looks like she's gonna cry, man.
Yeah, I was like, that was a kind of weird like flop, you know.
It's very human though because it
Yeah.
helps you realize, the stakes. I mean, this is their one shot.
I mean, it showed too how she was supposed to be the leader, and she was still just as vulnerable as everybody else. You know, I mean, she was supposed to be all hardcore, telling everybody what to do, and then all of a sudden, at the moment, locks up.
I mean, I'd be pissed off too if I was, sleeping next to goats for 5 months. They were there for 5 months.
Yeah,
like planning a heist for 5 months, I understand that. You want to make sure you get all the cogs in the right places, all the gears right. But why did you camp out for 5 months? Planning for 5 months, that's fine. Why did you camp there for 5 months, sleep on rocks, and grow to hate each other? Why did you do that?
They wanted to visit Scotland.
Yeah,
that's good enough. That is good. That is a good enough explanation.
They wanted to go sightseeing.
Planet Scotland, yeah.
Also, like, dude, everybody dies, which I was just like, I was not prepared for that at all. I was
it's
like,
a Rogue One series, dude. It's a Rogue One series. Of course, everyone died.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I was like, wow. I was like, they just like straight off killed like literally everybody. Like nobody. I mean, I guess a couple of people survived, but
literally
like,
the only people in this series who have plot armor are Cassian Andor, because we know when he dies, Mon Mothma, and Star because we know when he dies.
It's true.
Like everyone else is fair game.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Okay. Also, so going back, we're just gonna skip to episode 5 just for a second because a key memory just unlocked again. Bro, I was so sad that they skipped that dinner party. I'm just gonna be straight up. I thought that dinner
And
party
that's why
was
nobody
gonna be
remembers that episode.
I wanted to see Sly more. I wanted to see her.
Same. I wanted to see Palpatine's just like whole crew like come up in there and just like wreck, and like they totally skipped over that. I was just like, man, it's like that's a bummer.
Sly Moore is literally Palpatine's paramour. She's literally his whore.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah,
it's in the comics. She is his.
They bumped uglies.
I wanted to see her.
Well, so here's my thing though. We look back at Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show, and remember everyone wanted to hear the hello there. So maybe, and there's at one point where she's like, Leia's like, "Oh, come on, say hello," and he's like, "Hello," and everyone was super disappointed because we didn't get a hello there. And then right at the end, we got the perfect hello there. Maybe we're just building up for the same thing, right? Like
Sly Moore is just going to come in at the end and like kill everybody.
Yeah.
No more Rogue One. They just totally wrote it out.
Yeah, I'm going to kill everyone for my darling. This is my dick and my dick only. No one else can have the Emperor's just me.
So going back from that, so we're on the topic of politics. It was kind of shocking to see how much the Senate has like gone. Like there's like I felt like there's like
seats.
Yeah, like there's like 4 people up in there, and like half of them aren't even paying attention anymore. I was
4
just like,
whole people up in the room.
I was just like,
Dude,
literally though, it felt like it.
Yeah, man.
I would call it a constitutional monarchy, but like the Constitution's in fucking shreds.
Yeah, true.
I blame COVID. Everybody knew they could telework, and that's what happened.
Charlie, what were you gonna say?
No, it was it's crazy to see, man, because last time we seen this place, a pretty big moment went down in that place, so they cleaned up pretty good. I mean, yeah,
I didn't think about that.
The Avatar light versus the shadow, man. And then you go there and find out it's like, man, they did some work on this place.
Yeah, Palpatine was like, I'm gonna destroy this place anyway, so we'll remodel.
Yeah, so just seeing that was pretty crazy, man. And then also Mon Mothma doing her little, trying her little speech and everything, and there was like nobody there. And of course, in this timeline, it's 5 years, right, until Rogue One: New Hope. Okay.
Wait, four.
Yeah, and so the fear's there and everything like that. So they're still afraid. I mean, it's not like Palpatine's a Sith Lord or anything. That just be way out of whack.
He's a nice guy. I don't know.
No, man, he seems really nice. I don't get
I
it.
thought it was awesome because we hear in A New Hope that the dissolution of the Senate and everything, but in Episode 3 we just see that there's the Senate, right, all completely filled Senate, and now all of a sudden it shows that like slow progression of that dissolution of what this government is, right? Like some people are still clinging to it, and she's talking, and she's Mon Mothma is talking like she's gonna be able to do something, and no one's listening. Like this, it shows that true moment of like the Senate has lost its power. It's truly just the Empire.
To be fair, there was a terrorist robbery the day before. There was a terrorist robbery.
No, there wasn't.
Oh,
yes, there was.
Robbery happened. She picks up her tablet and it's just happening. Like no one knew about it when she's there.
It was the night before, because immediately after that scene, they go to Luthen's antique shop, and then there's a guy there that says, "Hey, got anything from Aldhani? There was a rebel attack there last night."
Yeah, I guess it was last night, but like, you think that everyone in the entire Senate knew that? Like, she's
they're like, we're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knew the attack was happening. She was still at the Senate. Like, you think that random Joe Blow senator knew that?
That's because she cares.
I think it was to give the illusion of the Senate is dwindling. I think that there's probably a combination of both. Like there was a terrorist attack, or at least what they see as a terrorist attack, so that like people won't come. And then on top of that, they're like already, because like if it's like 5 years before A New Hope or 4 years before A New Hope, like the Senate it's already been cut in half, and I think we kind of see that within the.
I mean, guys, let's just address this. The Senate is basically around
Palpatine. Yeah.
I mean, yes. The Senate is literally Palpatine. Like by the end of the Clone Wars, Palpatine had basically completely dissolved the need for a Senate. Like, yes, the Senate was officially dissolved, like by the events of A New Hope, but like by the events of Revenge of the Sith, it was basically. Like, it was a proxy government at that point. It was a proxy government apparatus. Like, the legislative body was worthless. Palpatine had full emergency powers to do whatever he wanted, and he did whatever he wanted, and people supported him based off of populist rhetoric. So of course the Senate would basically just be a hollow shell at this point, because who gives a fuck? It's a monarchy. Like, it's literally a monarchy. Why would anyone fight to get certain things done when it's going to just go the Emperor's will? And people are going to take advantage of whatever power they can get by clinging to the Emperor. Like, at this point, it actually makes Mon Mothma look like a huge underdog, and it gives her motivation for why she would abandon the Senate and join the rebellion later on, because like she's getting no leeway in the world of actual politics. So it's like, let me join the terrorists, the really poor terrorists, because the government is failing. So I'm just going to join the terrorists. Sounds vaguely familiar.
Well, I mean, I don't think she thinks they're terrorists, because she's talking to like Luthen and stuff like that in like the previous episodes, being like, this stuff better. I think the Empire sees them as terrorists. I don't think she sees it as.
I mean, she may not see them as terrorists. She may not see them. She may not see them as terrorists, but like, the rebels use violence in pursuit of political goals.
I mean, they're definitely terrorists, but it's just from the point of view.
Yeah, from a certain point of view. Like,
Star Wars is terrorism made cool.
Let me just call Vladimir Putin real quick.
Charlie and I were talking the other day. I forget who we were talking with, but we were saying Palpatine's probably the sick freak to like leave Yoda's claw marks on that one like spinning donut. Just as a memory, like if he had to be out there, it'd be like, I did that.
We were talking to Ray Kenix about this. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Amazing person. Go check out her Ayla Sakura fan film, please, if you haven't seen it. Amazing person. Put a lot of her heart and soul into that project.
Oh, I love Ray.
Yeah, man.
I've gone bowling with her husband.
Oh, right on, Jason, man. Yeah. I love
he's amazing. Like, so say that you recorded next time you talk to him, say that you recorded a podcast with Ben. He'll tell you some stories.
some shenanigans. What did you guys think? Oh, go ahead.
Going back to what Charlie was saying a bit about, we hear a bit of Mon Mothma's speech regarding the Gormans wanting basic rights, and from other Legends material, we know that they're soon going to be slaughtered, and that will basically transition her from senator to a more military leader of the rebellion. And we see her full speech regarding her resignation for the Senate and calling out the Empire in season 3 of Rebels. When she was aboard the Ghost. So I wonder if we'll get to see like the live action version of this speech, maybe coming through like a hologram, while Andor from the point of view of Andor Luthen watching it, and it could even possibly knock a bit more sense into Andor to join up with the rebellion.
Andor.
Yeah,
Tasty
in my head.
Well,
I'm sorry you slipped up. It was just too easy.
Here's the thing. I would love to see her official resignation in live action, because I think it would be a very powerful moment for her character and a very powerful hallmark in the Star Wars canon. The issue is that season 3 of Rebels takes place 3 years after this.
Well, this is probably season 2
I wasn't
then.
sure about the timeline so much.
Yeah, unrelated to that, in particular, what I've loved about this show overall is the way that it's linked so many different things. I was listening to one thing, and when they're walking through one of the space terminals, they're talking about a ship coming in or whatever, and it's literally a play set from 1992, a Star Wars play set. And just every line has Star Wars meaning, and I've loved that. The fact that they've linked so many Legends things, and so every line has a meaning. Everything is linked to something in Legends or another show or something like that. That's the one thing that I've loved about this show up to this point.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck
Definitely.
yeah.
100%.
What did you guys think about the Doctor? And also, do you guys know his species? Because he kind of looks like Maz, but he has multiple arms. So I guess
He's
not.
Quadpaw. Is his name Quadpaw? Right?
Yeah, Dr. Quadpaw.
Dr. Quadpaw.
Sounds like a James Bond villain or something like that.
He was also he played Admiral Raddus and Two Tubes in Rogue One, the same actor.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah, so I wonder if he's playing Two Tubes again in Andor.
Fingers crossed, man. We're gonna see Saul at some point, right? I mean,
Yeah, well, Two Tubes or his brother was in the trailer. I don't remember.
To me, it looked like they had a cloak and they had 2 sets of people underneath, which felt very 1977 Star Wars to me.
They were definitely practical,
front,
yeah.
and your arms are going to be out front, and the other one's going to stand behind with their arms out. It looked very natural and unnatural at the same time. I loved that whole build of the species and character.
I love how the first set of hands went up and then the other set of hands
Yeah.
went up.
It reminds me just a little bit of whip stuff.
I was about to say that. Is he the same species as freaking Harvey Korman's character from the holiday special?
Maybe.
Whip stuff. Whip stuff.
somebody needs to make that a TikTok edit or something like that, like a
operating.
Oh no, that's gonna spawn some unholy space cooking show that's gonna transfer the internet.
Guys, the holiday special is unappreciated in its time and in this time and in every time. That is a severely underrated piece of content. It's outstanding beyond belief. I've seen the Star Wars holiday special 5 times completely sober. I watched it on a date once. It is very near and dear to me.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we all need to get on a roundtable watch party and watch the Star Wars watch it.
I literally own it on DVD. I own it on DVD.
I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube too.
Oh, it is on
yeah.
YouTube.
It
is
is.
on
I guess
YouTube.
Disney Plus too.
No, it's only the cartoon part of the holiday specials on Disney
Really?
Plus.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
that's it. The cartoon that was put together by I think the company's called Nelvani. It's the same company that made Heavy Metal and Rock and Roll.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, holiday special watch party. Let's go.
Sounds good to me.
Lumpy.
So,
Lumpy, that was the kid's name. Yeah.
no, dude, Lumpy is my kid. And when I used to stream on Twitch, That's my and it's
15
also
year
my
mark, no.
Discord handle. So like I just have him just making that stupid grin that he makes. He's like, you know.
Dude, guys, Lumpy is canon because he appeared in the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. So he's canon now.
Lumpy,
That's how
our
that
Lord and
works.
Savior.
JT, I know you're biting your tongue so badly on my.
I can't spoil it. I can't spoil it.
I know. Don't do too
can't.
much. It involves Sam Witwer. Just stay tuned. If
my God.
if you want to
go.
believe that
Let's go.
canon,
Charlie is
stay
rewriting
tuned.
canon.
Let's go.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to die. Just die. Period. That's it.
That
One day.
really quickly.
When we're older. But so now that this arc is kind of done, what do you guys want to see next, or what do you guys think we're going to see next?
Sagura.
I mean, that's a
That'd
good.
be-
That's a
that'd
good
be
guess.
pretty
I think we're definitely
We're
going
kinda
to see
flying
his deep
blind
dive
now.
into it
Yeah.
because he's already
You know?
trying to pull away, take that ship, but something's got to draw him back in.
Oh, I
Yeah.
guarantee you, what's his Luthen is gonna find him because
Well,
he's
that
like all
and-
doing like his like victory celebration in the back. They just needed to add the little Ewoks doing the
Our
drums
Cocoa
in the
Puffs
back.
buddy, he's gonna,
Oh, Cocoa Puffs, yeah.
yeah, he's got to come back.
It's like I have a
Yeah.
particular set of skills.
Skills are acquired for
He's
death.
going to call his son Pennywise to come fuck shit up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
want to see whatever his motivator is going to be because I feel like right now he's like, yeah, I can just dip out. I'm done. I'm done
You
with
think-
this. Like,
You think Vel's going to actually return the Kyber to him?
Probably, I would say.
I think
a lot of
I think she's going to
people-
get killed, and he's going to have to take it off of her and hand it back. I mean,
I've heard a lot of rumors and such that people are saying that Vel is Luthen's daughter.
I thought about that. I could see that
So-
kind of going. I mean, it would make sense. I guess they both have blonde hair. So
True.
I mean, not that that's really an indicator.
That's
but
math, yo.
That's an indicator for TV shows. I mean,
If that's true, he's the worst dad ever. It's like, I'm gonna send my daughter on this dangerous robbery to like steal from the government,
why chill?
if you want to
and I'm gonna send her to sleep on rocks for 5 months and not pay her.
that's called
The
belief in
family
the
thing
cause.
has been done before in Star Wars.
That is
Same.
belief in the cause.
Just shitty parenting.
Yeah.
Ask
shitty
me how
parenting.
I know. That is belief in the cause.
That is called shitty parenting. At that
Well,
point,
That's called believing in something.
So, I think that's kind of all I had for it. Did any of you guys have anything else you wanted to add before we kind of close up?
I just
No,
wanted
man.
to say that,
No,
I just want to say that the
Paralyzed.
Empire needs to start redesigning
Oh.
their facilities because this is the third time now the good guys have been able to sneak in to their facilities via the water. First Cal, then Obi-Wan, and now Cinta and Vel. So I think they got to start redesigning their facilities.
No more water.
They need to get
Only
their stuff
lava.
together, man.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
why
that
we
would-
always see Tatooine all the time, right?
Dude, I was just gonna
Well,
say, build one on a sand planet.
lava would
Problem
honestly
solved.
work better, like in the Citadel episode of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
One scene that like really got me, and I rewatched it today, and it like was
Mhm.
borderline heartbreaking for me. Was they're just escaping, and what's the kid's name? He gets crushed by all the
Namek.
gold.
I just said he got paralyzed.
Yeah, and they go and they drag him up there, and Cassian's flying, and he goes, "Climb, climb!" And I'm like,
Oh,
K2SO!
yes.
I'm like, oh
Yes,
my
you did.
god!
That was an amazing parallel and just a echo of something to things
That
to
went
come. And,
completely
yeah,
over my
someone,
head.
Yeah, someone put that down. I was like, wait, what? And then you just reminded me of that. I'm like, oh my God, that's right.
Well,
Like,
too,
I'm
I mean,
sure that
Andor
has
got his
nothing to do-
manifesto
like,
too. So by the time
Maybe
he starts
there's
breaking
no
into
writing
that,
parallel there, like intentional writing parallel or whatever. But when he
Mhm.
goes and like he's all drugged up and he very clearly like says climb, like I just instantly had that flashback, and then it makes me think back to the movie when like Cassian, no hesitation whatsoever, K2SO says climb, and Cassian's like, okay, here we fucking go, like I'm going up.
yeah,
And it was like maybe that's why he did that, is he has that this kid was dying and told him to climb. Now he has his best friend robot telling him to climb. That's the one thing I'm most excited for. I would love to see K2 in this show and when they actually link up and how they link up.
Yeah, that
Talented,
introduction is going to be good.
Alan
I don't know
Tennant.
if we will.
it's coming.
I'm calling it right now. You guys can call me on this, and then we'll go back and be like, "Ha, you're wrong." I'm saying he's going to show up in the finale, and then he's going to drag.
I
into
agree. That's
season
going to
2.
be our hello there or our Qui-Gon or something.
Makes
I
That'll
hope
be
so.
cool, man.
Didn't Tony Gilroy said, "I'm not putting any references in this show"? Meanwhile, we have Starkiller's armor there. We have a Sabacc box there. We have a Jedi and Sith holocron there.
Yeah.
That's called the prop crew. He probably didn't have a choice. He didn't know the difference. They just started like, hey, let's just drop all this stuff in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The last thing on for me was my God, the acting, the turn of Cassian going from again the white to eventually getting more grayer and everything like that. So as soon as that guy drops the thing of the money, boom.
Oh yeah,
Shoot right
the
there.
no hesitation shot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Cassian?
that acting
It's
is
cool.
I
legendary.
mean,
you can see
No offense to that guy. I think that's the best case scenario that you could probably do, because that guy was definitely going to betray him and shoot him in the back. And then if he said, hey, I don't want to do anything, then he would have get like any path that you can see him like working it in his head. Like any path forward was like either Cassian's dead or the guy's dead. Like there was no thing. So I like to see how ruthless Cassian is. Like you can just tell he's been through so much.
Well, so when you see him, go ahead.
No, there you go.
I was just going to say, so some of the angles of his face and looking at him, you can tell he hasn't reached that point. Even though he's smoked 2 cops, whatever, he still hasn't reached that hardened thing. But while I watched it earlier, when it played out, it actually always throws up Rogue One to play right afterwards. And when you see his face in that promo shot, he's just got this scowl on his face. He's more hardened, more determined and stuff. And here he looks almost confused, like, what's the next move? Like, are you guys going to do it, or am I going to have to do this on my own? So it's kind of cool to see him playing into a softer side, if you could say, and then how he's going to turn into a harder guy in Rogue One.
Yeah, man.
One thing,
after killing some cops. Go on.
Brian, Barb's basement in chat. How's it going? He's a good buddy.
Hello.
Two clauses relating to Cassian. One, he's in it for the money, and he don't care about no damn rebel cause. That's Han Solo from Empire, all right?
It's Jyn Erso from Rogue One.
Second, he shoots a man in cold blood to save his skin. Han shot first. Argument solved. He's Han, dude.
That's nice. So that's actually one thing that's really bothered me in this show is, like, in Rogue One, he says the fight, it's not new for him. He's been fighting this war since he's 6 years old. But here we have him as an adult, like, fighting the Emperor. The only other thing that we've seen is, like, when he was a kid, people shot some blow darts at some, like, Republic people, and the next thing we know, he's being taken away. Like, I haven't gotten any reference of childhood fighting the Empire since he's 6. Like, I haven't gotten that reference at all. And then here we are, like, that line is really stuck in my head, and now he seems, like, confused about fighting the Empire. Like, that's one thing that's kind of bothered me about the entire show.
I think we'll see some more with maybe with season 2 where they're going to do the timelines or something, or maybe we're going to see some more flashbacks, because with
we have to see
his family
clones.
that had
the clones are in there.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, like, they're trying to imply it with, like, the world basically being, like, demolished with whatever happened. He's been made. I think they didn't really think about that line, like when Rogue One, they weren't going to be like, oh, we're going to make a TV show and then have to show him. But I think it's implied because, like, he's maybe not, like, physically fighting them, but, like, maybe his, like, tribe has been against the Empire since he's been, basically able, or the Republic, or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
And he's been in that fight.
I've always been ever since I heard that line in the movie for the first time, like 6 years ago. I was always trying to figure out the logistics of it, because, like, Diego Luna is, like, 30, and, like, in the events of, like, Rogue One, it takes place in, like, 19 what is it?
BBY.
Wait, no, it's my mistake. It's actually 0 BBY. It's 0 BBY. But the point is, Rogue One takes place 0 BBY. It's like the Empire's been around for 19 years. So I've always been, like, trying to figure out the logistics of it. Okay, it's like, so you're clearly, like, not a teenager. How have you been fighting against the Empire since you were 6? And it's like, oh, okay. Okay, I see what happened. So the separatists, because those were separatist signets on the ship that crash landed on his planet. So the separatists crashed on your planet, and they killed some of your friends, and then you got taken by a nice white lady, and then you started, and then the Empire started, and then you got thrown in prison by the Empire and enslaved and yada 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 yada. Okay, now I see the through line. You've just always been against galactic tyrants, even though the separatists were literally fighting against the tyranny of the Republic. But we're not going to talk about that. So I understand the logistics now. I understand what he means by he's just in a fight since he was a child.
Yeah.
It was also a really heat of the moment. Like when he says that in Rogue One, that it's kind of like a really heated argument, and like people exaggerate when they're heated and they're in an argument. So he could just be like, "Oh, I've been, because I think he gives Jin like a real hard time because he basically was Jin, just earlier on.
Route.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was like you could take it maybe with like a grain of salt too, of like the 6 years old thing, like
Definitely.
and also too fighting. Like I feel like in general, like people have like different views of how they're fighting stuff, and I think that could be used kind of like as a broader strokes sort of thing.
I think one thing too, just thinking about like the conversation that we've had, was we talked about like the remotivation, and if we remember, the planet that his mom is on just got taken over by the Empire, or not taken over, but like they've set up that Imperial outpost there, and like they're going to be hunting for him. They know who his mom is. They're looking for him. Like
they hanged his dad.
Yeah, now what he wanted was money, and he said he's going to come back once he got that money. Now he's got money. He's going to try to come back and realize that everyone that he's cared about on that planet is going to be under oppression. And maybe that's what's going to be that remotivator for him. Maybe that's what we're going to see.
Oh, definitely.
In episodes. How many episodes do we have left?
Six.
Yeah,
12 total.
We're halfway
I woke
through.
up this morning and I watched the last Lord of the Rings episode, and it like broke my
I didn't
heart.
see it.
This is the season finale. We're not going to talk about that because completely different. But like, it broke my heart, and then I was like, thank God I still have more Andor. Like, we're okay.
We got Andor, then we got Tales of the Jedi. Like we're gonna be rolling in like Star Wars for a long time. We're good.
Pretty back to back. It's gonna be good.
This was their plan, guys. This was their plan. We're gonna slowly roll out content on Disney Plus to trick people into staying subscribed, just so they can watch the Star Wars and Marvel shows. Because we know we know for a fact they don't care about High School Musical. Only teenage girls care about that.
Hey! I care about High School Musical.
No,
sir.
shut up! Shut up! No, it was only the first movie was good. After that, it was just they were just milking the franchise. Frankly, Ashley Tisdale could have done better.
Dude, you just got to get your head in the game, bro.
Gotta get your head in the game. No, dude, I'm all about that. I don't dance live. I don't dance. I know you can. Not a chance. Whoa.
Wasn't he just the one that said like no one was tuning in for?
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
I think that's what his subscription goes to.
I'm talking about High School Musical, the series on Disney Plus.
Oh man. No, but Tales of the Jedi is going to be like going off Andor, because I think are we done with Andor? Or you guys have any more to say about that?
I'm good.
I cannot wait for more.
Yes, I same, dude. I really hope we get at least a little bit.
Was there any Easter eggs?
There was a few I found, not so much in episode 6. Well, I guess the only one in episode 6 was we hear what was probably the first time the Rebel call sign Echo is used. And we know it better in episode 5 for Echo Base and all those call signs. And then in episode 5 at Cyril's mother's place, there's some Melurons on the table. I'm pretty sure he has 2 clone trooper action figures on his nightstands. They're kind of out of focus, but I'm positive they're clone troopers because of how the guns are kind of shaped. There is a CPH patrol speeder that rolls up on Ferrix, and that's the same kind that was in Solo with the patrol troopers. Dedra name drops a few planets that have had suspicious activity, and of those, one was Kessel, and this could be in reference to either Solo stealing the Coaxium, which eventually was ended up in the hands of Enfys Nest, who said it was for a rebellion. Or a second idea is from when the crew of the Ghost liberated the Wookiees on Kessel in this like small little arc.
That would have happened at the same time.
Yeah. And then
I
I thought Starkiller rescued the Wookiees.
Yeah, he did that.
Everybody
He started the
rescued-
rebellion.
Even
Yeah,
Cal
he's-
rescues Wookiees. Everybody's rescuing Wookiees these days.
Keep him
I like how you
liberated.
said, "Is there any Easter eggs?" Nick's like, "Yeah, there's like one bag."
Well, one from and then the last one was we get a confirmation that those are in fact the Sankara stones from Indiana Jones in Luthen's shop.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, and another angle on that Starkiller armor too, like behind
Yeah.
the.
I mean,
like the
also a
side.
better one of
I'm
the Wookiee shield
excited
too.
about that, but
I mean, this isn't necessarily a reference, but you know, they played a new card game in this episode, and I
Yo,
can't wait
I
till
was-
the-
Oh,
I can't
thank
wait till
you.
I can't wait until the
Thank
Star,
you.
yeah, I can't wait until the Star Wars tabletop community re-engineers that game and figures out all the rules.
So that's not like because I like Googled it and I couldn't find anything on it. So that's not like because they were talking
They
to.
all die with Nimic.
I thought it was like a hex, like because they kept saying hex. So I was like, maybe it's like a hex card or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Hex game.
It looked like a lot, kind of like a dominoes, because they were putting them next to each other, and every time they
Yeah.
put one down, they said another word, but like hex in front of that like word. So it's definitely, I think it's some sort of dominoes style.
Quadra hex.
Star Wars
Yeah.
magic.
Guys, I
One thing
cannot
that
wait.
Like my little personal nuance of hate was they have like those giant things of credits, and they're supposed to be Imperial credits, but they're a completely different shape than any Imperial credit that we've seen up to this point. And I was like, we could have easily put in one prop that carries over from everything else.
No,
We've built
they
new
just set
blasters.
Nick up
We've
for
changed armor types.
more.
That's one thing that we could have kept the
There-
same. Like
There was. I thought they were the long
Credit.
rectangular ones. They weren't the long rectangular
But they
ones.
were-
I
were
think he
thicker
means the one
than-
that they were betting with, right?
yeah, well, the ones that they're betting with, and then the ones that are in like
Oh.
in those long storage of them, were those rectangles? Because they looked
Yeah, they
very
were like the
hexagonal to
little
me.
Imperial.
They were gold
ones, yeah.
rectangles.
They
Yeah.
were rectangles. Okay,
I
Yeah.
think.
I think they were stacked in a cylinder.
Completely
like-
unrelated. I'm an idiot. So in case anyone missed that
You need to touch it there.
That's a clip right there. That's the clip.
I mean, we'd have to like screen cap the episode and then zoom in to see if the design's the same, but like they're shaped like actual Imperial credits. And like if anyone has like I don't have it, but I've seen pages from it. If anyone has like the solo Star Wars Story guidebook, it shows you the different credits in the book, like on the gambling table, and you see what the Imperial credits look like. So if someone can screen cap that episode, look in the cylinder and see if the rectangles in there are the same shape and have the same symbols. They're the same shape, obviously, but if they have the same symbols, then yeah, those are Imperial credits. They just look like newer ones, because the ones in Solo are dirty because it's money.
Yeah.
Right.
Saban.
Back to
Yeah.
the being an idiot.
But no, I cannot wait until the Star Wars tabletop community reproduces that game, because the Star Wars
Oh,
tabletop
you know they're going
community,
to.
yeah, like a month after Solo came out, like people already figured out the rules for Corellian Spike, and like I'm pretty deep in the Star Wars tabletop community. I own like 8 custom Sabacc decks. I have a Pazak deck I'm looking at right now. Like, I love that game, and I love seeing in-universe games. Like, I have a Jajarix table sitting downstairs in my living room.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I like it's a small wooden one, but I have it. Like, I just love in-universe games, so this is just another in-universe game. Also, this is something that came to my mind. I hope they reference this later in the series. It's confirmed. I think it's confirmed in the Rogue One guidebook that Cassian uses the call sign Fulcrum. So I'm hoping they reference that at some point.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a wrap, guys. I mean, that was good. We're at 48 minutes. That was a good first live ever. I've done, like I said, I've done a video game stream, but I've never done a live roundtable. So we might be like doing these from now on. You know, so I know you guys like doing them too.
Doing it live.
Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, may the force be with you.
Stay awesome.